and the migrant program, etc. There will be Title II, which will address the area of professional development. What was previously known as Chapter 2 will become Title II in a new form, which entirely will have its focus on professional development, combined with what we've known in the past as our Eisenhower Math Science, which asked that there be professional development in that area. Those two sources of funds are going to be combined at the federal level with a focus not only on math science but the other challenging content areas, so that there's support at every district level for professional development. So we're going to be enhancing what we've done in the past with math science and with some Chapter 2 and putting it into one large arena to focus on the standards and helping teachers and others at the district level and parents be able to know and how to be able to teach and know when they're attaining those standards.
Thank you.
That's in line with what Dolores asked, if classroom teachers and Chapter 1 teachers, you're saying then that those funds for staff development would be involved a total school.
Total school and a total school
So the staff development project that we're trying to work on would sort of tie in to that goal.
We have a caller. We have a caller from Boulder, Colorado. Do you have a question for us, please?
Yeah, well, no, because it goes into a central board, Peggy, and we can't.
Caller from Boulder, Colorado. Do you have a question for the panel, please?
I think you have just answered my question about calling the programs Title I and Title II. However, we have a comment from some of our people that does seem to be going a little bit backwards for some of us who have been around for a while. Could we think of another term such as page 1 or page 2 or some other literary term?
Well,
Thank you.
I think we're returning back to what Lyndon Johnson put into effect 25 plus years. We're almost heading to 28. We'll be heading to 30 soon. Back when he created the program, we have a new administration who I think would like to be sure that the focus is as it was then and focus on that issue as it began years ago. It's just going back and I think in a sense still continuing forward with a new thrust.
Any other callers, please? Let me provide you with the number again, audience. It is 1-800-882-8498. Doris, I have a question for you, if you would answer it. How can IRA provide assistance to parents?
Well, we have a Family Literacy Commission that is talking about what are the kinds of things that parents can look for in daycare kinds of programs, suggestions for parents, and certainly suggestions on ways that teachers can work with parents. To break down, sometimes there's that real, I don't want to call it a fear, but a little inhibition sometimes for teachers and parents to work together. I think our Family Literacy Commission is really working on ways to bring parents and teachers together. We also have some monographs, materials for teachers that I think classroom teachers find very useful as they work with their...
I've used them a lot with parents, and they're wonderful. And we have another call. Our caller from Norfolk, Virginia. Do you have a question for our panel, please? Norfolk, Virginia, do you hear me?
Yes. My question is, how can parents adequately evaluate the Chapter 1 program when they do not attend parent meetings in order to receive the information that they need?
I'll take that. It's unfortunate for whatever reason that the parents aren't able to attend to receive the material. I think one of the things we've learned in Chapter 1 is that, and I think with parent involvement in general, is that you can't have meetings only in the middle of the day when people work, or you can't have them only at night, and that's what happens in our school. I've got PTA coming up and parent conferences, and it's after a long day, and it's at 7:30 at night when I'm tired. I'm sure the teachers are tired too. I think we have to have times when we're available to parents. Teachers need to have times, and schools need to take times when they're available to parents at all times. And I think we have to make parents feel welcome in our schools and do everything we can to make information available to them. We're very concerned about not only having information available to parents, but there are many parents who don't speak English, and making sure that to the extent that we're able to have communication in a language that parents understand, we want to be able to do that too. I think we all have to work together in order to reach out to parents and have information for parents.
But I think there are also some additional ways. Certainly, we hope that parents will attend and come to sessions that are provided. But one of the ways that you can measure how successful a program, a school program, and we're trying to look at a total school program, how successful it's been, is one of the ways that Doris looked and knew that her grandson was growing in reading. It's the sparkle and the joy in the eyes of your child when they come home. Are they lugging home a book? Do they want you to sit down and read to them? Are they anxious to share with the parent something that they have read or written? And I think a second way that you can evaluate how well a program in reading is going on in your school is hopefully staff is sending some kinds of communication home, news, notes, calling on the phone, because sometimes it is difficult for parents to get away.
Thank you both. We have another caller. We have Chris from Raleigh, North Carolina. Chris, your question, please. Chris, can you hear me? From Raleigh, North Carolina? Did we lose him? Okay. Go ahead, Dolores. Go ahead.
Since he's not there, that one of the things that we've tried that's been quite effective with parents that are not able to attend the Chapter 1 meetings is that we have a Chapter 1, Chapter 2 parent group. And that represents one parent, usually from each one of the schools, and we happen to be a 100% Chapter 1 district. And that person serves as a liaison. So when they go back to that school, they are charged with the responsibility of contacting many of the other parents in the school. And that way the parents get the information, they get the professional development that Chapter 1, Chapter 2 advisory person was able to receive, and they pass it on, and they have that collegiality among the parents. That has been quite effective for us in our professional development of parents.
We have a call. We want to don't lose this one. This one is from Stevensville, Texas. Your question, please. Stevensville, Texas.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, what I want to let you know is that we've got 35 undergraduate students attending to your teleconference this afternoon, and they've generated several excellent questions. In the first place, they're interested in understanding some key differences that are going to exist between the new Chapter 1 program and the current Chapter 1 program that exists in the public school.
Can we stop right there, and would you
Also, they've generated a question related to, is she wanting to answer it?
One
now?
at a time, yes, if you would,
Okay.
please. The first one. Who would like to address that?
Well, I guess I probably better.
differences, Mary Jean?
I could spend 2 hours on the differences and elaborating them, but I think the major difference is what I started out with, and that is there will be an expectation that there will be high standards developed for all children by the State Department of State agency in every state, and they will be the same standards that are available for all children, and so there will be standards. And secondly, that there will be assessments significantly different than they are now in the Chapter 1 program, which are now asking that there's norm reference tests annually assessing progress of children. We're going to say that what should happen is what happens at the state level. There should be one set of assessments that are required and not different assessments for Chapter 1 than there are for other assessments. And we will be expecting those assessments to, within a period of time, a couple of years, to be addressing those content standards, and that they will assess what all children are expected to know. And that schools won't be asked to do separate testing unless they so choose to beyond that state assessment. And in order to assess the progress of our Chapter 1 students, we'll be saying, look at the grades that are assessed. And so there will be measures each year on the whole school and looking what happens to the children across the whole school. The emphasis on staff development, I think a major emphasis will be driving decisions down to the school level. We will ask that there not be a one-size-fits-all design from the district level, and we'll be eliminating a district-wide needs assessment and saying instead those teachers and those administrators, those parents who are responsible for the children at the school level will get together and develop a school plan which will be living, which will be dynamic, which will be changed and informed
Personalized.
and personalized to the school to meet the needs of those children. But everything driving at challenging, rigorous content.
We have another question from the
yeah,
same group.
okay.
Okay, and that we need to, we're cutting short of time. But Stevensville, do you have your second question?
Yes, here's our second question. I'm wondering if you could tell us what the interface is likely to be between portfolio assessment and some of the issues that have just been mentioned in relation to Chapter 1, and also the evaluation program that the International Reading Association is developing. What are you seeing in terms of portfolio assessment?
I'd like to answer that, or just begin to answer it and then pass it on to some of the rest of the panel. I think portfolio assessment is part of the broader picture. There are many definitions of what portfolios are. I think that's a cap call for everything that means student samples, students' performance. It's a gathering of materials, and